Okay, third grade. We are switching to a different immigrant journal. This is a book from the Dear America book from the series My Name is America. This is the journal of Otto Peltonen, a Finnish immigrant, by William Durbin. Tamaki, Finland, 1905. May 2nd, 1905. We are leaving for America tomorrow morning. I'm anxious to see my father. He's been working in a state called Minnesota the past year and saving money to pay for our steamship passage. Yet I hate to say goodbye to Grandma and Grandpa Rantella and my friends. In his letters, Father has only talked about his job in the iron ore mines and how he's counting the days until we will be a family again. So when I try to picture America in my mind, everything is hazy. It's like a photograph I once saw. There will be big white houses and broad tree-lined streets. Though I've never been further from my home than the Senajaki River, tomorrow I am headed for Duluth, Minnesota, by way of Denmark, England, and Canada. May 3rd. I'm writing this on the train to Hanko, Finland, the port where we will board our first ship. Sunlight and shadows flicker through the window of our rail car and make me squint. It is hard to write neatly with a constant rocking. My pencil point has broken twice. Luckily, I can sharpen it with my puukko, a fine knife that Grandpa Peltonen gave me the year before he died. Keeping a journal was Grandma Rantella's idea. From the time she was a little girl, Grandma always dreamed of visiting America, and she asked me to write everything down for her. That way, Otto, she said, I can see it through your eyes. It was one thing to imagine this trip, but quite another for it to begin. Even as I was helping Grandma hitch the horse to the wagon this morning, it seemed like we would never really go. The true fact of our leaving didn't hit me until we'd loaded our bundles on the wagon bed. Everything that Mother and my two sisters, Helena and Lisa, and I could take with us was tied up in 4 small sacks. The only other thing we have room for is a wooden basket, which Grandma made specially for our trip. It has a hinged lid and a little iron latch and holds a few days' worth of food. I promised Mother I would carry it, and that is only right since I am 15, and in her words, nearly a man. I'm nervous about the trip that lies ahead. What will happen if we miss our boat or lose our money, or if we get lost in a strange city? As the train rocks back and forth, Mother is doing her best to hide her worry, but I can see it in her eyes. As usual, my 11-year-old sister Helena can't control herself. For the last month, she's been complaining about how she will miss her school and her friends. Though she is quiet for a change now, tears are still running down her cheeks. I give her my handkerchief. Helena did a shameful thing this morning. We just said goodbye to Grandma when Helena leaped down from the wagon and grabbed her around the waist. She wanted to stay in Finland. Mother started to climb down to get Helena, but I touched her shoulder and said, "Let me." By then, Grandma was crying as hard as Helena. Knowing we had a train to catch, I pried Helena's arms loose and pulled her toward the wagon. She screamed, clutching at the sideboards and kicking her legs. As I lifted Helena up into the wagon box, I caught a glimpse of Mother. I'd never seen her look so sad. Mother is a pretty lady who was named after 2 goddesses. Her full name is Minerva Juno Peltonen, but there's nothing delicate about her. Though she is going on 40 and is barely 5 feet tall, Mother works with Father in the fields, and she chops wood and butchers chickens and helps birth calves. I thought she could take anything, but Helena's crying had driven a needle straight into her heart. I'm thankful my little sister Lisa, who is only 9, regards our trip as a great adventure. Lisa is quiet and thoughtful, and for the last hour she has been smiling at the green countryside blurring past our train windows. Without her courage, it would be hard for me to pretend that I am brave. May 4. We are now at sea. The name of our boat, should I say ship, is the it's the SS Urania. As third-class ticket holders, we are packed together like sheep in an undersized pen. The whole ship smells like rancid butter and coal smoke. Thankfully, our time on board will be short. Helena's moods are getting worse. May 10. Liverpool, England. We've been stuck at the terminal for hours, standing in one line and then another. Liverpool is a dirty city. The buildings are black from coal smoke, and the harbor is crowded with every kind of ship, from newly fitted naval vessels to old-fashioned wooden schooners. Our food basket is empty. We used one of the American dollars that Father sent us to buy lunch. We only got an English shilling and 2 pence for change. I think we were cheated. We're going to stop there today, 3rd grade.